Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Today is July 3rd, and we need to send tributes out to people who passed away on this day. And there are three huge ones. Andy Griffith, famous for his, acting on the Andy Griffith Show and the TV show Matlock, but also as a country artist. Brian Jones passed away way, way, way too young. Best known, obviously, for his playing and writing influences with the Rolling Stones, and of course, no one bigger than Jim Morrison on this day. Um, what is there to be said about Jim Morrison except he was a tremendous poet who may have lived life to excess, but in his short time on this planet left us with an absolute dynamic legacy of songwriting and poetry. So with that said, we're going to go with one of his early poetic compositions called Moonlight Drive.
Let's swim to the moon, let's climb through the tide, penetrate the evening that the city sleeps too high. Let's swim out tonight, love, it's our time to try. Heart beside the ocean on our Moonlight Drive. Let's swim to the moon, let's climb to the tide, surrender to the waiting worlds that laugh against our side. Nothing left open and no time to decide. We'll step into a river on our Moonlight Drive. Let's swim to the moon, let's climb through the tide. You reach your hand to hold me, but I can't be your guide. Easy, I love you as I watch you glide. Fall into it, fall in, oh no. Moonlight Drive, baby. Moonlight Drive. Come on, baby, gonna take a little ride down by the ocean side. Gonna get real close, get real tight. Baby, don't drown tonight, go down, down.
Obviously, when I hear that song, one of the things I instantly go to is that scene in the Doors movie, where Val Kilmer playing Jim Morrison basically relates this poem to Ray Manzarek on the beach, and supposedly that's when they realized that he could write great lyrics. And it's funny how that song or those poets those poetic words didn't actually make the first Doors album. It's off of the second album. But again, who cares? It's beautiful poetry. It's well put together, and it's such a spatially ambient song with the piano bass over here in the left speaker and the stride style piano over here in the right speaker, and of course you've got a wonderful drum rhythm being played by John Densmore, and then of course Robbie Krieger with that slide guitar and that beautiful solo. Really unique solo, actually. Not really quite your typical guitar solo. It's not quite as melodic as it is sort of matching the uniqueness of the poetry. And then still over here underneath that piano part, you've got him just kind of, chunking or cacking on a rhythm guitar during the chorus section or during the built-up section. It's a wonderfully well put together song, and it's all focused around Jim's poetry. And I've always loved that song. I don't know what it is about it. Honestly, as a guitar player, I'm sure the first thing that caught me on it was that slide guitar part, which, I don't necessarily think of Robbie Krieger as a remarkable slide player, but man, does it work on that song. He's not your typical slide player. He's not your Lowell George or your Dwayne Allman or your Derek Trucks or anything like that, Sonny Landreth, what have you. He used the slide sparingly, but perfectly. In other words, it was perfectly suited for the songs that he did play slide on. And again, as a guitar player, I'm sure that was probably the first thing I heard that made me go, oh, that's a cool groove. But then as I dive deeper into it, I hear so much more going on. And that's the beauty of the production of this. It's spatially ambient, so you can actually really pull out the individual parts, even though, the bass piano and bass keyboard are sort of piled on top of one another over here on the left. And then that rhythmic guitar is underneath that sort of piano part over here on the right. And the drums and voice are sort of just barely off kilter from one another with that slide part a little bit to the right, while Jim's voice is a little bit to the left. And I love that song. So with that said, again, today is the day that we lost three legends, Andy Griffith, Brian Jones, and of course, Jim Morrison. So we send out our thoughts to them. Please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. We can talk about it further. I hope you enjoyed this. Know that I appreciate you and I wish you all well. Okay. Y'all take care now.